Nobody wins when the family feels.
I need help.
Alright, what's the address of the emergency?
I don't know where I am. Please send me help.
Alright, we're gonna get police on the way.
Help me. Thank you.
I'm trying to never go back to jail. I'm too old to go to jail, man.
How old are you now?
I'm 62 to 63 or something like that. Too old to go to jail, man. I wanted to live the rest of my days out, enjoy my daughter, enjoy the woman I wanted to marry, enjoy my brothers, just enjoy life completely. Like I told him, I never thought this gentleman here would come back after he first talked to me.
Family, in this video, we see this chilling moment when a DC killer who evaded justice for 44 years realized he'd been caught. This case highlights the advancements in technology that has transformed criminal investigations since the 1970s. In the 70s, forensic methods were rudimentary, relying heavily on eyewitnesses' accounts and basic physical evidence. There were no DNA tests, and fingerprints analysts were less sophisticated. Investigators often faced significant challenges in solving cases due to the lack of resources and technology. Today, forensic science has made tremendous strides. DNA profiling can now identify suspects with incredible accuracy, allowing law enforcement to link individuals to crime long after they were committed. Cold case units utilize advanced technology, including digital databases and enhanced forensic techniques, to re-examine evidence. Additionally, tools like facial recognition software and social media analysts have revolutionized how authorities track down suspects. This evolution in technology not only aids in solving cold cases, but also serves as a deterrent, knowing that justice can be pursued even decades later. The case of this DC killer serves as a prominent reminder of how far we've came to fight against crime. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. If you lose your mom at the age of 7, what do revenge look like to you? Some say this story has the sweetest revenge. After a man who was just 7 years old when he lost his mom, wait decades to get some justice. But during this time, he managed to become a high-ranking official in a DA office, also becoming an attorney before finally getting justice 44 years later. Family, I introduce to you Vicky Belk. 28-year-old Vicky would decide to run errands after work on a warm August afternoon in 1979 and would never return home. Vicky's family took action right away, reporting her missing as they desperately waited for answers. For 2 weeks, the world was shattered when Vicky's remains were discovered miles from home. Vicky was born March 20th, 1951, to parents Lonnie and Maydale Belk. She was the oldest child, making her the big sister of 5 siblings. There were 6 Belk children in total, 5 girls and 1 boy. Vicky and her sister Judy were the first black students to attend Minnie Howard Elementary School in Alexandria, Virginia, after her parents successfully won a civil rights lawsuit that forced Virginia to comply with the Supreme Court Brown v. Board of Education school desegregation ruling. In 1979, then 28 years old, Vicky was a mother to a little boy and worked as management analyst for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. Just 2 weeks before Vicky's disappearance, her family had gathered at the Oakland Baptist Church to watch Vicky's little sister Judy get Murd. Vicky was Judy's maid of honor and helped organize much of the celebration. On August 28, 1979, Vicky's then boyfriend reported her missing to the Prince George's County Police Department after last seeing her the day before at their shared place of work in Washington, D.C. Vicky had not returned to her apartment in Suitland, Maryland. The next day, August 29, 1979, a local teenager called 911 after noticing a body on the ground in a wooded area. The location was Church Road and 227. Officers with the Charles County Sheriff's Office responded to the location and discovered the body of a woman with a gunshot wound to the right side of her head and undressed from the waist down. On August 30th, 1979, Vicky was positively identified as the woman who was discovered in the wooded area. The Office of Chief Medical Examiner in Baltimore ruled her cause of death to be from the gunshot wound. Investigators recovered, processed, and maintained evidence during the initial investigation. However, the case went cold. In the following years, several detectives worked on the case. In more recent years, Detective Sergeant John Elliott in the Charles County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division continued the investigation and worked with various agencies to pursue leads. As forensic technology advanced, The evidence of the murder continued to be re-examined. He was arrested for violent crimes that occurred in Washington, D.C. 2 murders that somehow he got away with, which you'll later hear about in his interrogation. It was also discovered that Taylor lived at a residence on Bryan's Road around the time of the murder. The address was less than 4 miles where Vickie's body was discovered. Taylor also had connections in the area of Washington, D.C., where it's believed that Belk was abducted. Detectives began trying to locate Taylor, but they had no known address since 2019. In collaboration with the United States Homeland Security Investigations, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department Homicide, and the U.S. Secret Service Baltimore Field Office, detectives at the Charles County Sheriff's Office were able to locate Taylor in Washington, D.C., where he resided. On June 22, 2023, Taylor was arrested by detectives assigned to the Charles County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division. He had a warrant for his arrest. And now you hear from a DC killer who got away with murder twice already. And now, 44 years later, he realized he's charged with another murder. Check it out.
This is my partner. We're going to keep the door open. It seems a little hot in this building for some reason. Going to explain to you why we're here. You have any questions for me before we start? Okay. It seemed like you did recall me coming to nursing home back in March when I got your DNA. Alright. Do you have any questions for me? Like, again, do you have anything you want to ask me before we get started? I know you've got some history of your life. I'm not judging you in any means. With that, before I can ask you any questions, you know the process for that? And just to make sure, I know you're not saying a word, but can you at least acknowledge that you hear me? You understand what I'm saying to you? You know where you're at right now? Mr. Taylor, I just need to get engaged. I just need to make sure you understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying. Just don't have no answer, say nothing to you.
Okay. Well, before I ask you any questions, I got to go through your rights. Do you know what your rights are?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Would you like me to read them to you?
No, you don't.
Okay. Why is that?
You gonna read them to me?
Absolutely.
You said, well, I don't want you to read them.
No. I'm asking if you know your rights, but I would also like to read them to you before I get started.
Yeah, I know my rights.
Okay. I'm gonna read them to you anyway. All right. Before I ask any questions, and since technically you're in custody, this is why I got to read your rights, okay? And then after getting to read your rights, we'll explain everything to why we're here and what led us to make an arrest for you. All right, before I ask any questions, you must understand your rights, or what your rights are. You may remain silent. You are not required to answer any questions, and anything you do say can be used against you in court. You may talk to a lawyer for advice before I question you, and have him with you during questioning. You cannot afford a lawyer and want one. A lawyer provided for you at no cost. If you want to answer questions without a lawyer present, you still have the right to stop answering at any time and request a lawyer. Okay? Do you have any questions about your rights? Alright, do you understand them? Okay. I'm going to explain why we're here. You remember back in March, you came and got your DNA. I said there's some scientific evidence which at the time led me to believe that you were involved in the case in Charles County.
I used to live in Charles County. Remember I told you that?
Absolutely. Miss Vera Green.
That's right.
And remember I said she was your aunt.
Right.
But you said no, it's a family friend, and I understand that.
Right.
I spoke to Vera Green. I don't know if I told you that.
No, you didn't tell me.
I did. And she said that and you told me that you actually lived down at Marshall Hall.
Near Marshall.
Now, when I say Marshall Hall, I don't mean the park, I mean the area.
Okay.
Was the park still around back when you were there?
Yeah, it was still down there.
Okay. Now fast forward, or going back a little bit, I know you lived in Marshall Hall, but you also lived on, was it D Street, Southeast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that how you got to know Mrs. Green? Miss Vera?
To her husband, yeah.
Okay. Did they live on the same street as you?
No, they lived down there where they was living in Marshall.
Okay. At what point did you start to live with them? Is it because they were a close family friend? Tell me, understand that part.
Understand what?
They were a close family friend with you? Is that how you began to live with her?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember about what age you started living there?
It was about 18, 19.
Okay. It was about right. Looking at your records, I think at 18 you listed that address. Do you remember exactly where the house was?
On Browns Road.
The address which you used back then, the actual numbers they're not the same anymore. Do you remember or could describe it to me a little bit?
Describe what?
The house, what it looked like.
It's a brick house.
Okay. Did you have any girlfriends that lived in Browns Road at the time?
No.
Okay.
Never had no girlfriends down there.
Would you travel back to DC a lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Were all your friends still mostly in DC? So even back then, someone is still today, but that area much harder, wasn't much down there.
All my friends was in DC.
Okay. And I know you made some mistakes in the past. Like I said, I'm not here to judge you, but again, there's some things that led me to you. Your name just didn't come out of the blue. And maybe some of those mistakes, like I said, were in the past. Here we are, almost, for the case I'm investigating, almost 44 years later.
44 years later.
Yeah.
What could I possibly done more 44 years ago than, led you to me?
Well, remember I told you I came to get your DNA?
Yeah.
Well, there's some DNA evidence that has brought your name into it.
I used to, date a lot of women.
Okay. Remember that picture I showed you?
Of that woman?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember, but I remember the picture. You showing me a picture.
Right. I'll show it to you again just to make sure. Remember that picture?
Oh, my glasses.
Who's that? Remember that?
Was that me?
That was you back when you were 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Of course, nowadays.
That wasn't the picture you showed me.
I didn't show you the old picture of you.
No.
No, I didn't show you that back in March. This is the picture I showed you back in March. These pictures.
Something like that.
Yeah, they're the same exact picture.
Who is she? If I seen her, I can't say I seen her.
Yeah.
In passing. I don't know. I can't say I know her or don't know her.
That's fair.
So many women I have come in contact with in my life,
And I'll explain the reason why I showed you her picture. August of 1979, her body was found in Bryan's Road. When I say her body, she was deceased.
Okay.
She was sexually assaulted and she was shot in the head.
That's not my work.
Okay. You say it's not your work.
That's not my work.
What kind of work?
When I say it's not my work, I don't do nothing like that.
Okay.
Shoot a woman in the head, sexually assault her, no, that's not me.
Well, one of the reasons why we got your DNA is we processed her clothes. Her clothes were she was still wearing her clothes, but her dress was pulled up above her waist. She was naked. Apparently, she was sexually assaulted where we had found her. Or maybe even before or after, I'm not sure. But on her dress, we found your DNA.
How's that? I don't even know her. I'm not saying I didn't see her on Bryan's Road, and I did. But I'm saying, far as I know of, I never seen that woman.
Okay.
I can't walk up and say, oh, I know her, or speak to her that I know her. I can't do that.
Right.
Just like me and you sitting here talking.
Mm-hmm.
We walk down the street later on, and I walk past, I don't say, oh, I don't know him, I seen him before. I don't know what's going on, man.
Right, well, there's going to be some explanation. What I think happened, I'm very straight and honest with you. What I think happened is You probably stole her car, abducted her from the metro station there at RFK.
You said that before.
Right.
I didn't steal no car.
Okay.
If I would have, I wouldn't have took it down there, first of all. You know. Back then, I wasn't driving. I didn't have my license, so I wasn't driving nothing because I didn't want to hit nobody. Nobody hit me, and I don't have a license.
Well, I mean, even today, people drive around with no license. Like, I'm sure it was more widespread back then. If somebody didn't have a license, I'm sure they still drove.
That's them. That's not me.
Yeah. Do you remember being with somebody else when this occurred? When you may have gotten in the car with this young lady?
I don't remember getting in no car with a lady or a dude.
Okay.
You know, back then, I was ripping and running on my... Truthfully and honestly, back then I was selling drugs.
Right.
You understand? Ain't no need pulling punches. I was selling drugs. So, I didn't have a car. I wasn't jumping in and out of cars.
Right.
No. I don't. Like I said, I don't remember her. I'm not going to say I didn't see her or did see her in passing. Like I said, a lot of women come in contact. I came in contact with.
Right.
But I don't remember shooting, raping, or nothing. No woman. Washington, D.C., Maryland, or Virginia.
Okay.
Baltimore. I've never raped a woman. I never shot a woman or anything like that. Yeah, I have stolen cars before.
Right.
You know.
I'm not worried about stealing the car part, but
Huh?
I'm not worried about you stealing cars back in the day.
Yeah, but I never stole a car from where you said the car was stolen from.
You know, ever by the stadium where people would park to get on the metro?
Yeah, I know where the stadium at. But I never went over there and stole no car. I'm sure of that.
Would any of your friends have taken the car from over there and picked you up in it?
Possibility. Because I was riding with a lot of gentlemen. You know.
Do you ever remember getting in a car and there was a young lady in there that looked scared?
I remember getting in the car, you know, with 2 or 3 of my buddies, and they had a lady friend in there. I never paid attention to her face.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to say it was her or it wasn't her. You know, when I got in the car at the time, we was taking a blow, so my head was down. You know, they let me off where I wanted to get let off at, and went on about their business or whatever. But like I said, I still can't reflect me shooting, raping no woman.
Right.
You know, that's not me.
So this young lady you talked about that was in the car, did you have any like sexual contact with her?
With who?
The girl that was in the car that you talking about, there was 3 or 4 guys, 3 or 4 of your buddies picked you up and there's a young lady
I
in the
didn't
car?
have no sexual contact with her.
Alright. And the reason why I asked that, this lady, when she was found on Bryan's Road, now, you see the correlation, what I'm saying is how far you lived in Bryan's Road, her car was found or was taken from blocks away from where you were hanging out from.
I follow what you're saying.
And then a couple days later, her car is found a block away from where you used to live in D.C.
Hell.
Okay. 17th Street, does that sound familiar?
That may be it.
Okay. Her car was found at 17th and C Street, which is right there.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to play tricks on you. I'm giving you the facts.
I mean, I see how I surround where I was and how I hung out, but that, like I said, that woman there, I couldn't pinpoint her a day in my life. If you put her in the lineup, I couldn't pick her out for it.
Right.
You know, like I said, ran southeast, ran then. I was selling drugs, so ain't no telling where I might have been ran there. Ran no girl's house or anything.
Right. See, what kind of drugs were you selling? What was the thing? Oh, back in the day it was. Still pretty popular today.
What's that?
The heroin.
Is it still popular?
No, I said it is.
Probably is. I haven't sold enough since the last time I was arrested for it.
Yeah. Now, do you remember getting arrested with a gun?
What gun?
You got arrested in March of 1980 with a 32 caliber handgun. You remember
Yeah.
that? How long had you had that gun?
I don't know. I bought it hot. I might have had about a week or two.
Okay. You'd have it for a couple months?
No. Never kept a gun more than 2 weeks back then.
Mm-hmm. What about any other guns you may have gotten over the years? Around that time frame that you bought?
Back in that time frame, several guns, but I can't recall, all of them.
Right.
Truthfully. Excuse me.
Well, and again, I'm going back, circling around this DNA. How can you explain why your DNA, specifically semen?
I understand. I'm trying to sit here now. That's why I'm sitting here in the day. I'm trying to figure that out myself. I used to run by myself, and the buddy I used to run with, he's dead.
Who was that?
That's who I used to run with, a buddy of mine. We sell dope together and everything, and I don't remember him. Excuse me. Me and him never run across him. That lady there, like I said, I can't say I did not see her somewhere or did not see her.
Right.
But I know I didn't kill nobody. I didn't sexually assault nobody. Like you said, how my DNA come up on her dress, I don't know. I can't answer that.
Right.
I used to hug a lot of women. Women hugged me. I have slept with several women. And I never had a woman, I never took no woman down Brian's Road. Put it like that.
Okay.
I never took a woman's down there to have sex with them or not to have sex with them. I either went to a hotel or to my place. I never went back down that way. When I went that way, we all went together as a family at night, went home. If they were still living, she would tell you. I never brought a woman home there.
Now, at the time, around August 1979, you were staying, again, Miss Beers, but you were also staying on 17th Street?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was an apartment building you were in?
Yes, it was.
Then your buddy that died that you used to sell drugs with, what was his name?
Lon Sanders.
Lon?
Lance.
Oh, Lance.
Lance.
Okay.
Lance Anderson.
Okay. How'd he die?
Was killed.
Now, you've also been charged with two other murders, right?
2 other murders.
Yeah, over the years.
I know I was charged with another murder that I walked out the courtroom free as because I didn't know nothing about it.
Right. The other one you did some time on?
I ain't do no time on none of them.
I thought you got sentenced to the 1989 case.
89 case.
Yeah. You arrested in 1989 for a murder?
Yeah, I was arrested in 89, but I didn't do no time on it. I know what you talking about, the case.
Okay.
I was charged.
Okay.
And I was found not guilty by a jury of, you know, as they say, your peers, my peers.
Right.
I found not guilty.
Okay.
And that's it. You know?
Right. What's the nurse who gave me a piece of paper with your diagnosis or your medical, what exactly is your condition right now? What exactly you got going on?
I'm pretty messed up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say pretty messed up, can you explain to me? Now, do you have any thoughts knowing, I mean, this could be any day for you. Do you have any thoughts about anything else you've done in your life you want to come clean about? Be right with?
You want, in other words, you saying come clean now about anything?
I mean, anything. I mean, I'm sure you reflect on your life and...
Yeah, I reflect on my life every day. I lay down and he let me wake up.
Right.
You know? It's a lot of things, like I said, I've done in life, but a lot of things that I've been accused of was association.
Right.
You know? But like, I stood up as a man and I always will. I never killed nobody. That's why I went to court to face all those other charges that was placed against me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I'm not as bad as probably my record may reflect. Never was. Like I said, my association got me in more trouble than I got myself in. I can't go back and change it.
Right.
You know, those were the days, those were my buddies. I ran with them. I didn't do what they did, but I ran with them.
I understand, and I'm not casting any judgment on you. Everybody makes mistakes, especially when you're probably 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Growing up in the city, and my understanding in that area was pretty rough back then. Have you been back over there anytime recently?
Back over where?
Over on 17th Street, in that area.
Have I been over there?
Yeah. Have you seen it? It's houses with like $1 million now.
Probably I haven't been over there since, what, 1980, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't been over there in years.
But that was like your place though back in the day though, wasn't it?
Huh?
That was your place, your hangout.
Yeah.
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 Now, do you remember being around your friends? You said you were hanging with them, associations, and anything they've done that?
Done what?
As far as killing people?
I don't know what they done when we wasn't together.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah, and that's fair.
You know, I can't say they did or didn't. I don't know. I can't pinpoint them.
Okay.
Only person I can be accountable for is me.
You're right.
You know, like I say, the first time you came to see me, I sat there after you left and I was thinking and I'm thinking and I'm thinking. I wasn't expecting you to come back because I know I didn't kill nobody. I didn't, you know, nothing like that. You never told me all you told me is that she was killed. You never told me that she was raped. You know, you never told me my DNA was found on her dress.
Right.
You
Right,
never,
you got good memory.
You never told me none of that.
Right.
Only thing you ever told me is that she was killed and she was found on Bryan's Road. And I said to myself, that's impossible for her to be found on Bryan's Road the way Bryan's Road was.
Okay.
Because it was, both sides was like, had a ditch. And it was just like a rocky road or road. And if she was found on one of them streets, I'm quite sure several people might have seen that woman, or wherever she may have been, come from, or whatever. You know. I can't see her being left in Bryan's Road like that. Like I said, you never told me nothing about her. All you did was show me her picture. You know, you never said she was raped, she was killed, or anything of that nature. You asked me, did I know her? Did I have any girlfriends down there? And I told you, as I tell you just now, no, I didn't have any girlfriends down there. I never took any women down there. You know, and that's it.
Well, you got a good memory in regards to our conversations. I never gave you any specific details. I just said, you know, we came here to get your DNA because the woman was found on Bryan's Road. You're exactly right with that recall. It was good. But going back to, like I said, her dress. And
I'm like you. Why would my DNA be on her dress? I'm not saying I wasn't with several. Like I said, I was with several women because several women did or didn't have money to buy drugs and they would trade sex.
Okay.
And I don't know if she was one. She could have been one. She could have not been one. But I never. Like I said, I never, and Miss Greenwood could tell you, I never took a woman to Bryan's Road. Like I said, to a hotel or to my place.
Right.
That's it. I ain't never took a woman down there.
And she was 28 years old at the time. She worked for the government.
I don't know that.
Right.
I never knew.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, okay. If she was 28, that means I was, what, like
18.
17, 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then going back to this, you said you were in a car with 3 of your friends, and there was a lady in the car who you didn't pay any attention to.
I didn't pay any attention to her because she was up front.
Okay. Did you guys all together while she was in the car go to Bryan's Road, even though?
No, we didn't go to Bryan's Road.
Okay. Not that time.
At any time. With her in no car. Because I got out of the car on 15th and Independence Avenue. Wherever they went, they went.
Okay.
You know. But I did not go to Bryan's Road with them or with that woman.
Right.
You know.
And this is the obstacle we got, and one of the reasons why we're here with the charges is, when I say DNA, it was specifically semen. And indicative of, she was also indicated that she'd been raped or had sex. And it appeared to us that it had been raped for the way she was found and the manner she was found, along with the gunshot wound to the head.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm not going to rape no woman, and I'm not going to shoot no woman in the head and leave her like that. That's not me. That's not my style of life. Only time I use a gun is if I have to protect myself. And with a woman, I don't have to use a gun. I could talk a woman out of whatever I want at that time.
Yeah. Now, where she was found in Miss Vera's house was only 4 miles away. It was pretty close. And then going back, I'm telling you, I'm very straightforward with it.
I'm listening to you. That's 4 miles away. That still don't put, you know, me. Like I said, I'm puzzled because I can't see no woman being in the road at that time where we was living at down there.
Okay.
Because it was, I don't know, like a country road. I say that, up and down there.
Right.
and you got on one side a ditch, and the other side a ditch. I mean, if she was found somewhere like that, cool. I'm saying cool, not that she was killed. When I say cool, that's how it was, a ditch. I can't see, excuse me, that woman being left in the road like that. Not down there. And we not see it when we used to leave in the morning to come up to D.C. I can't buy that. And we didn't, not run over, but see it and go around or call the police.
Where she was found out was kind of a side street. It wasn't really on this main road, not in Marshall Hall. It was.
Now you switching it.
No.
Now you said a side street. Okay, I follow you. Go ahead.
200 feet off the main road. You know where the schools were in Bryant Road?
I can remember where the schools were up and down the road.
Okay, it was right by the schools. I'm trying to describe it.
I never, by me being down Bryant Road, you may think I have traveled that, but I've never been past the school unless I was in the car. I never walked up and down that way. And like I said, my moving up and down Bryant Road was either with Miss Vera or without Miss Vera.
Okay.
When I say without, that means we were in the house and we would all take off together in the morning. Only time I left Miss Vera's house is when I moved out.
Okay.
And we was all moving out at the same time.
How did you come to Miss Vera and having a living arrangement with her?
Because of her association with her kids.
Okay. Now, anytime you say you stole cars, did you take any of the stolen cars to Ron's Road, to Miss Vera's house?
No, I never take no stolen car at her house. She'll tell you that. Never took no stolen car down there, period, or don't leave it on the road or nothing like that. That wasn't my thing. When I used to steal cars, we used to do things in them.
Okay.
Hustle in them. I never took nothing down there to her house because I didn't want that attention down there.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Now, how would you get to and from the city?
How would I get through her?
So Miss Vera would always take you up to the city and
Back and forth through the city, yes.
Yeah. Now, your brother's older or younger back then?
Who, my brothers?
Yeah.
My brother, I had one younger than me and one older than me.
Okay. Did they live down there with you also?
No. They was living right there where you just picked me up from. That's where we used to live at.
Mm-hmm. Looked like a nice house. Even today, it looked like I'm sure it was nice back then.
It still is.
Yeah.
We ride past it sometime and just mess with it and say, hey, anybody in there? Yeah.
You still keep in contact with your brothers?
Yeah, I was just with them a week ago.
Oh, yeah.
They come get me, we go out, eat,
Was they one of them, Kenneth or Kenny?
Kenneth,
Yeah.
the youngest one.
Yeah, because I talked to them trying to find you. They didn't tell me nothing.
They're not going to tell you
That's
nothing.
what I figured. That's fair.
They didn't tell me nothing about no police or detective was looking for them.
Right.
Interview what? I said, for what? I ain't done nothing.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Was there any time while you were selling heroin, were you also using it?
Yes, I was.
I remember having this. I've never done heroin, but would it make you black out or anything like that, or would it?
You can go out on it. You can
Yeah.
overdose, stuff like that. But I never did. Thank God. I had my limits of what I would use.
Let me ask this: when you're doing heroin, doing any type of blackout, could you have done something and not remember?
Yeah, you could have. And if somebody was around you, will tell you. But most of the time when I did heroin, I was always around people that I felt safe that if something happened to me, I was all right. You know.
Were you using, or did you ever do heroin when you were at Miss Vera's house?
No, hell no. Her son, he didn't allow that, you know, no, and I didn't ever take that to her house.
Okay.
No.
Now going back to what I told you before, you see how it all comes together in regards to what I'm looking at from my point of view?
Yeah, I see how you putting the picture together.
Now, we believe she was taking her and her car from RFK when she parked there for work.
Okay, but that's not my thing. Hanging around RFK. Only time I was up around RFK if I was going to a game or something like that. Other than that, I had no business over by RFK. I wouldn't even be over there.
Yeah,
Closest I would be was up by Eastern High School.
Right. I mean, that's only blocks away though. It's not, I mean, it's walking distance.
Yeah, but that wasn't my thing to be over by RFK.
Okay.
You know? I'm not saying I never were over there at one time, but for what? I don't go nowhere where I didn't have no, you know, business of being there.
Right.
And I'm still that way today. I'm not gonna go hang out over here and just to hang out over here. I got to have some business or somebody there I'm doing something with. I just don't hang out like that.
Okay. And what I'm doing, I'm recapping what I've kind of told you. So we believe her and her car were taken at RFK when she had parked there for work. She's later found on Bryan's Road.
You know, you keep saying she was found on Bryan's Road, right? Let me give you something. I'm not putting nothing on her son, he's dead now, but he had several dudes come down to the house with women because that was his home.
Right.
He could do that. You know, some of his friends and all that. Most of his friends was not my friend. You know, because at that time he was shooting heroin. I wasn't using heroin, I was selling.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying? So, a lot of times, he may have taken women down there, whatever. That was his business. That was his home. Like I said, every time I went there, Miss Vera would tell you, it was when she took me there.
Okay.
When I left there, it was in her car. She had a white Monte Carlo.
Okay.
That's how I used to get back and forth with her.
Okay.
You understand? That's it.
Right.
Like I said, I never had no women down there. I didn't even try to mess with her daughters, you know, to hit at them or nothing.
Okay.
You know.
You remember at any time bringing a girlfriend, any girl down from the city to Vera's house and bringing her back?
I never did.
Okay.
It's Vera, her daughters, everyone will tell you, I never brought a woman there. I never went to the house when they wasn't there because I was up top. We used to always say, well, I'm up top. At that time, I worked out Murd for a while.
Right.
You know, no, I didn't take no woman there. I had no plan on. Like I said, if I had a woman I wanted to be with, either her house or a hotel. That's some on my place.
Yeah.
I never took a woman to Miss Vera's house. You know.
Mm-hmm. And then her car. Again, I'm being very straightforward with you with exactly what our evidence is. Her car is later found.
You paint a picture. Like I said, back then, I wouldn't drive. Other people was driving. People steal cars, they park them anywhere. I'm not saying they did park it there or park, you know, whoever parked it. like you say, you paint a picture. 17th Street, Armory, Stadium Armory is right there.
Yep.
No, I didn't do nothing like that. Like I said, at 17, 18, 19 years old, I was ripping and chasing women. I wasn't trying to kill nobody or hurt nobody, man.
Right. Let's say we take the killing part away.
Okay.
Let's say, for example, let's just not talk about that part. The sexual assault, or even maybe just the sex part.
Yeah.
We have to have some explanation of how specifically your semen, not just a rubbing or a touching, but the semen specifically, was found on several pieces of her dress.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I was with several women.
Okay.
I'm not saying I was with her or wasn't with her. And if I was with her, I didn't kill her or leave her there. If I was with her, she would have been back where she's supposed to be in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, any girls that you had sex with that might have fought a little bit or anything?
What did what?
Fought a little bit? Yeah.
You mean fight?
Resist, yeah.
Nah, back then, I don't think so. I mean, they was young teenager girls I was messing with. Like I said, most of the girls I was messing with, young teenager girls, and the older women would come in contact with me through association of them buying heroin.
Right.
You know. And a lot of them, when they used to come up, we used to hug, swing around and everything, and kiss. A lot of them I done had sex with. They didn't take all their clothes off. You know, they just took their panties down, whatever. We get our thing off, bam, we gone.
Right.
You know, back then it was real wild for us.
I can imagine what it was back then. I hear people like you talk, and it sounds like it was crazy times.
It was crazy times, but it was good times.
Yeah.
And the most thing we ever got into was a fist fight. You know, That's it. That's what, like I said, the first time when you came to me with this, I was drugged. I was sitting there still trying to put it together.
Right.
I didn't go look for Miss Verb to try to change anything or ask her anything. Because I don't even know if Miss Verb still had a store there on the corner or not.
You said a store?
Yeah, she had a store.
Where was that at?
See? You don't know.
You're right. Was it in the city? I don't know. I don't know about Miss Vera's store.
Yeah. Yeah, she had a store. I used to work in it and stuff, off and on. You know?
That was on 15th Street?
Right there on D Street.
Okay.
It was maybe 3 or 4 blocks from Stadium Armory. I was saying, everything it comes up around the area. Stadium Armory was right there. You couldn't help but knowing that the Stadium Armory is here. The boys club right here, Stadium Armory was right down the street by DC Gym.
Right.
You know, you couldn't help that area. It seemed big, but it was small for real when you ripping and running.
Oh yeah.
You know? And yeah, that was my area back then. You know?
It's a big city, the small neighborhood, right?
Yeah. I'm not blaming nobody for nothing, you know. I'm just worried about me right now. My health is one, and then this. You know, if I thought I really did that, I could have been left the rehabilitation center and y'all have never knew where I was.
Right.
But that wasn't my thought. Like I said, I didn't think you were coming back. For me, anyway. You know. When I saw y'all come down the hallway this morning, I was like, whoa. You know.
Right. But going back to these girls that...
I'm engaged now to a young lady that's at the rehabilitation center. I just spent $2,300 on a diamond ring. Why would I want to You know, blow that.
Right. And kind of clarify, which I got little follow-up questions about. You said these girls you would trade heroin for sex. None of that occurred in Bryan's Road. You said
I never took, like I said, I tell you again, I never took that to her house down Bryan's Road. Heroin. Heroin, when I dealt heroin, I stayed up in the district with it.
Okay.
You know, in the area where we sold heroin. I never took that to her home. I never would disrespect her home, your home, and nobody else's home with that. You know.
Any of these girls that you traded heroin for sex with, you ever having sex with them in any wooded area in the woods? Anything crazy?
Yeah, I had sex with women in the woods before, you know. Just so their husband wouldn't see them. You know, their boyfriend wouldn't see them. You know, I'm not gonna tell you I didn't.
Okay.
They had sex with women in the cars.
Anywhere.
You know, wherever they parked their car, we had sex. You know, I get out and walk, and they go where they going. You know.
What about do you remember being in any cars at RFK Stadium? And the girls hooked up with there? I know I keep on going back and
I know
forth.
you keep on going there, and I'm going to keep on taking you away from there.
Okay.
The closest that I may have been to RFK Stadium, like I told you before, is by Eastern High School.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
I used to go to Eastern and the girls there. No, you know, I have traded, I mean, we've had sex in many different places. Places that you wouldn't even think about to have sex. Laundromats, you know. I can just give you some strange places, you know, like you said, in the woods. But never down Bryan's Road. I have never had a woman down Bryan's Road, young girl, older woman. Never. Miss Vera and her daughters, if they were alive, bless their soul, would tell you. I never brought nobody there.
Yeah, Miss Vera's alive. I talked to her a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her daughters are dead.
Okay.
Her son is dead. You know.
Going back to her son, he said he was dead, and he got wrapped up in a few things. You remember ever being with him when he had a girl in the car, or anything going on Bryan's Road with a girl?
Who, Tommy? I have rolled with him before, and then, you know, we had pulled over, and he did his thing. Like I said, he was fine dope. At that time, I wasn't snorting dope or anything. And that's it. I can't say what he did, you know, after he got the heroin in him, who he was with, where he would go. I don't know. You know, that's it.
And it's gonna sound weird, but again, I'm trying to cover my bases with what I have. Did you ever trade girls with him? Like he's like, hey man, I have a girl, anything like that?
No. Never swapped like that. No.
Did you ever call you and say, hey man, I got this girl, man? Or
nope.
Did you ever call him and say, hey, I got a girl?
Nope.
Okay.
I wouldn't have to call him. We was all uptown together. All I had to do was just wait to see him.
When I say call, I mean like you run into each other. It's not like you call today. Like we got cell phones back then. Probably more.
I mean, it was several girls that I was with that he had probably got with later, or I may have got with some of his girls later, but that's it, man. You know, it wasn't nothing big or crazy like that, you know. You know, I have snuck a lot of women off to do, you know, right till this day. I sit back and I be laughing about it, you know, because when I was traveling in the district before this happened to me and my leg, I see a lot of them still.
Really?
And we used to tease you, boy, look at that gray hair now, boy, you ain't young no more.
Right.
You know, stuff like that. But none of them, any woman I ever dealt with could tell you I never brought them no harm. Never. That's not my style. I could never bring, you know, if anything, I would protect them or help them, you know. I used to help them with some of their little boyfriends that was, you know, going crazy about them.
Right.
That's not my style, beating up no woman, killing no woman, or nothing like that, raping no woman. You know, like I said, several times I done had sex with women in the woods, out of the woods, but never did I take any woman down the Bryan's Road, anywhere up and down there, and have sex with her. By myself, with Miss Green family, or without them, no.
Right.
Mr. Terrell, I'm Detective Shankster. You mentioned that you'd gotten into a car with some friends where there was a female. Do you remember what kind of car that was? Was it a truck or car? Do you have any recollection?
That I got in the car with?
Yeah.
What kind of car was it that I got in?
Yeah.
I can't remember. All I know it was a car. When I say long, a big car. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you the color or nothing. You know, I had buddies come by and pick me up in cars.
Well, at that particular time, did you recall if there's friends of you, if you needed a ride back to Bryan's Road, did that particular incident, did they give you a ride and drop you off and still have that?
When I used to go back to Bryan's Road, I would strictly go with me, Miss Green, her daughters and sons. We would ride in her car. She had a white Monte Carlo.
But you never had any friends drop you off from the city?
You mean down at her home?
Yeah, like in the area, like whether he actually took you to her house or not.
No.
The Bryan's Road shopping center area?
No.
That was a shopping center back then.
No. See, my thing was, she was helping me, and I'm not going to bring no trouble or bring no one to your home.
We understand. That makes sense.
No, that was my thing. That's the same way today.
Without bringing a
Yeah, but that's the same way today. Couldn't nobody tell you that my brothers and them lived over there in Southeast, because I never took nobody there, because that was their home, my mother's and them home. I'm not going to disrespect you like that. I'm not going to bring trouble to your home like that. You know, no, never did anyone ever take me home, because if I didn't make it home with her, I used to have a little girlfriend I used to stay with, Naomi, to stay around the corner. You know, I go stay with her. You know,
this young lady who was killed, found in the area where you stayed, and her car was taken from the area where you lived in the city, and it was recovered back in the city, in the same area where you lived.
right.
And then she's dead, and your DNA, specifically semen, is all over her. So we need some kind of explanation for that.
I mean, I need an explanation for it.
Well, we're the ones here asking you.
No, I know what you said, but I'm saying I need an explanation for myself for it. You know, I'm not saying it couldn't have been a woman that me and her had got together, say that evening or whatever, and she rolled out. I don't know. I can't remember. But I know I did not go nowhere with no woman in a car by myself and do nothing to no woman.
Even if you weren't by yourself, where, like you explained, you got into a car with a female with some of your friends before.
Right, but I never did anything with a woman, you know, far as that. If me and a woman got in the car, our plans was already made. All right, let's go around the corner, man, and park around here.
All right, well, in this particular case, you likely either had sex with this lady in the city or in the Bryan's Road area, not necessarily at the house where you stayed, but in that vicinity.
Right.
Could have been Prince George's County, but she ended up in the area where you stay.
That's the funny part about it. Like he said, everything centers around where I hung out, where I stayed. You understand?
Yeah.
And the only thing I can picture, maybe somebody was trying to get me. Use somebody to get me.
Well, she has your semen all over her, and she's dead, and she's been shot. You're saying you didn't shoot her, you don't recall having sex with her?
I don't recall. I can't recall. You know, I'm not going to sit here and make something up to make myself look good. I'm telling you what I know.
Well, that's what we're asking.
I'm telling you what I know. I don't remember if I did have sex with her. It wasn't down there on Bryan's Road nowhere.
Okay. But she came from the city. That's where she was taken from.
Okay, I didn't take nobody from the city down that way.
Do you have any idea who could have taken her from the city?
It could have been her
Bryan's Road?
son. It could have been anybody. Anybody, because we used to G girl. You know what G mean, right?
G and up a girl?
G and a girl.
Okay. Multiple
More
guys?
right. It could have been one of them women. I'm not saying it could have been one of them things. Anything. I never took nobody down Bryan's Road and then take her down there and then bring her car back to the city.
But if
That's crazy.
If it were, let's just example, if it were her son that was with you in the city and you had sex with that lady in the city and he took the car and her back to Bryan's Road, is that possible?
It could have been him. I don't know. I left by myself. Like I said, I ran by myself. I can't pinpoint this woman here.
I think what he's saying is, did you and Miss Vera's son
So I know what he was saying.
together with a girl?
With a girl, and bam, whatever happened took place, and bam, he took her off, to Bryan's Road. If he did, I don't know. Like I said, I got out of the car.
But do you remember that you and the son and a female leaving the city together?
We did several times.
With a female?
Yeah, we did several times.
Okay.
We didn't go to Bryan's Road. We went somewhere and had sex. And me afterwards, hey, I'm gone, Joe. Because I had drugs on me, I don't know what he did. Because like I said, we didn't run together. He was older than me. We didn't really get along because I wasn't going to give him drugs every day.
Right. So to you, some of these girls, at some point between the city and Bryan's Road, the two of you would mess around and have sex with a girl?
We had sex with him, but I didn't take him to Bryan's Road to have sex. That's what I keep trying to tell you.
I'm not trying to agitate you. I'm just trying to clarify.
Yeah, I never took no woman to Bryan's Road to have sex. All women I had sex with was in Washington, D.C.
Right.
Or Maryland. Not even in Virginia.
Okay.
What's her son's name?
Yeah, what was Miss Vera's son's name you're talking about? The one that died, you said he used to run with. What's his name?
Tommy Bennett.
Tommy Bennett?
Bennett.
Okay.
Did Tommy have any firearms or handguns that you know of?
Yeah, he had firearms.
What kind?
He had several firearms.
Do you remember what?
I can't say he had this kind of firearm or he had this one. All I know is he had different firearms I seen him with.
Like what? You remember what they looked like? What kind they were?
They was revolvers, all I can tell you. I can't tell you it was 38, 45, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they was handguns,
Did they ever handgun with them while you guys had a girl in the car?
I can't say he did or didn't.
Right.
If he would have, I would have got out the car. I wasn't around, I didn't like being around danger then. Because my thing was, I was getting a little money selling drugs. And that was that. That's where I was.
Right.
Like I said, when you first came to see me, you never told me a lot about that woman, this, that, and the other. And now, all this come about, man. Then I heard the dude in the truck say something about, not you, the other dude that was driving.
Right.
44 years. 44 years, man. What are that? 44 years? Come on, man. I mean, if you've been looking for me for 44 years, where have I been? In and out of jail.
Right.
Right there in Washington, D.C. If I even thought this this was gonna come up against me, do you think I'd have stayed in DC?
Right.
I'd have took off.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was just living my life until this happened to me. And then this in my back that would happen to me. You know?
Could you think of any reason why this would have happened? Anybody you know, anybody around you that was the type that would do this?
It was several. I mean, we'll put it like this. In the area we hung in 15th and Independence, that's where we hung and sold dope. It was kind of all kinds of dudes there. You know, you don't know who they squatting on, what they squatting on. All they was thinking about was getting $1 to get some dope. You dig what I'm saying? Like I keep telling him, and I'll tell you, how my semen got there, I don't know. If it was a woman that I knew for sure, I could pinpoint and say, oh yeah, I know her.
Well, there has to be a close proximity in time between you having sex with her and her ending up dead in Bryan's Road area.
That's the whole point I'm confused about. If I had sex with her, what's she doing down Bryan's Road?
Correct. And why
I don't have a car.
Why would she end up dead?
Yeah, why would she end up dead? That's not my thing.
And if she was trading sex for
If she was trading
there
sex,
would be no reason
okay.
for you to
I had no problem giving her money, giving her drugs, whatever she wanted.
So,
You know, I can't walk from Bryan's Road all the way back to Washington, D.C.
No.
but her car was back in D.C.
Okay.
In the same vicinity
Where I hung out.
Correct.
It could have been anywhere, like you said, it could have been put back over by the Stadium Army. Anywhere. Does that mean
But it wasn't. It was put back closer to where you stayed.
Okay, but does that mean I drove it?
No, it doesn't mean you drove it, but it's certainly close to where you would want to get back to without having to walk blocks. And I don't know how it was back then. If you're capable of walking outside of an area safely from your immediate area where you associate with. I don't know if there was gangs or crews back then.
Most of the area right there, if he knew the area, you didn't need a car to go around the corner, up the street and all that. You know?
But to go to Bryan's Road, you would.
Would you? You ain't gonna walk down there.
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
Not from the city.
That was my beat as patrol officer. And I know the Marshall Hall area and the Bryan's Road area. It's still a hike even from Marshall Hall just to Bryan's Road. But that's the same area we're talking about. When we say Bryan's Road, we're talking about all the way down to the water.
I know what you're saying.
And then
it do like it's like he said, and like you said, everything surround where I hung out pinpoints me. You know, from Bryan's Road back to DC 17th Street here, there, and other. You know.
And your DNA is most.
And my DNA, you know. I can't tell you I did have sex that day with some woman or any woman, you know. Only thing I can tell you is that I did not kill nobody. If I had sex with somebody, I accept that.
Do you know anyone that did kill her?
Who did what?
Do you know anybody that did kill Miss Belk?
That killed her? No.
Did Miss Green's son, Tommy?
I'm not going, you know what? He's dead and gone. I'm not going to throw the weight on him that he did. I mean, excuse me, he did.
That's fair. Do you remember any conversations he made or statements he may have made?
He made a lot of statements. Like I said, me and him didn't hang out together.
Right.
You know, I used to see him and he would be mad because what? I didn't give him no heroin that day.
Right.
I made him buy.
So you're trying to make money.
Huh?
So you were trying to make money. You weren't giving it away for free.
You know, I might give him a bag in the morning to get his legs, but that's what we call it. Get your legs so you get started.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, no. You know, man, I ain't gonna sit here and try to do this and do that. Like I said, if I thought that I did this or would have done this, and that you were coming looking for me or him coming looking for me before this happened to my leg, I'd have been got out of town.
Right.
You understand? Before this happened to my kidneys and my back, been got out of town, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna stick around and go to jail or be charged with something that I didn't do.
Okay.
You know? Just like I told you, I'm engaged to a woman now that I want to marry.
Mm-hmm.
But this shit here, that's all I was thinking about, riding in the truck. Oh boy, look at this shit here.
Mm-hmm.
You know? The people at the rehabilitation center, I tell you, I may argue with one girl, that's the girl I started.
Yeah.
You know? But other than that, no. You know? Man, I ain't gonna sit here and try to do this and do that. Like I said, if I thought that I did this or would have done this, and that you were coming looking for me or him coming looking for me before this happened to my leg, I'd have been got out of town.
Right.
You understand? Before this happened to my kidneys and my back, been got out of town, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna stick around and go to jail or be charged with something that I didn't do.
Okay.
You know? Just like I told you, I'm engaged to a woman now that I want to marry.
Mm-hmm.
But this shit here, that's all I was thinking about, riding in the truck. Oh boy, look at this shit here.
Mm-hmm.
You know? The people at the rehabilitation center, I tell you, I may argue with one girl, that's the girl I'm involved with, to be married. Other than that, I don't even say nothing to the rest of the girls.
Right.
Like I tell them, ask your man, don't ask me.
Mm-hmm.
You want a cigarette or whatever, ask your man. Because I don't know how he feel if I give you a cigarette or what he thinking.
Right.
The same way I used to tell my woman, don't ask them for nothing. You don't know how I feel about that.
Right.
You know? Not that I would hurt anybody, but you don't know my attitude towards you about that.
Okay.
You know?
Just chill. How long have you been in the...
And this here, my leg, and what's in my back, you see the bag. You know, it hadn't, it slowed me up, but it made me realize more about life, you know. I'm more hurt than anything because like I told him, any day, you know. This here, I'm gonna try to never go back to jail. I'm too old to go to jail, man.
How old are you now?
I'm 62 to 63 or something like that. Too old to go to jail, man. I wanted to live the rest of my days out, enjoy my daughter, enjoy the woman I wanted to marry, enjoy my brothers, just enjoy life completely. Like I told him, I never thought this gentleman here would come back after he first talked to me. The way he left, I said, I never thought he would come back. You know? I didn't even tell my brothers in the number about him. Because I never thought he would come back. You know?
The person that did this to this lady, do you think they should be held accountable?
I can't.
The person that raped and killed Miss Belk, do you think they should be held accountable?
Should they be held accountable if you had them? Yeah. Yeah, I feel that way. I mean, I'm not directing it to me or away from me. Yeah, they should be held accountable. That's just like all three of us together. We ride in the truck and somebody starts shooting and they hit you and hit him. I can't drive, so when the police come, they gonna hold me accountable for both of y'all's death. Yeah. If I would done that, I would act, my attitude wouldn't be the way it is now. If I had done that, I would be like, man, look, do what you gonna do and get me the fuck on. That's not my attitude.
Right.
I have grown, and like I told you, man, this not to hang this bad. I have to sleep with it sometimes at night. When I roll over, it hurts in the back of me.
But it does, yeah.
Yeah, it hurts. You know, I pulled it out one time by accident sleep, and I had to go back to the hospital, and they had to do it again.
Right.
You know, I don't want to be in jail. They taking care of me like that. I don't want to be in jail. My leg.
Is there any chance that something like this you did do and things got out of hand, or you didn't do this intentionally? It happened as an accidental situation?
If I would have done this, I would know if I'd have done it.
But it was 40-some years ago, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I heard the man say, what, 44 years, you ain't said that. I ain't say you. I said I heard it. Because see, I know you thinking, I don't remember what you talked to
No,
me
you got a
about.
good memory.
Yeah.
No, you got a good memory.
Yeah. You didn't tell me that. But the other dude said 44 years, man. Come on, man.
In August it'll be 44 years.
Yeah, come on. 44 years. If I had done something like this or had the knowledge that I did this, I'd have been gone, man. So like he said, he couldn't find me. My brothers wouldn't tell him nothing.
Yeah, but back then, DNA evidence wasn't the same way.
I understand that. I know that. But that's not me. That's what I'm trying to convince y'all. That's not me, no matter what. I don't know how my semen might have got there. Like I said, me and her could have had sex. But I know one thing. If we did, I'd have never killed that woman. I'd have never had her down there on Bryan's Road. Because I didn't have a car to go there.
She did.
She did. Yeah, but I didn't drive. I wasn't driving. You understand? And for her car to be where he said it was, that's the same area I ran in. Her son ran in that area. I ran in that area.
Okay, but then there would have to be a girl that you had sexual contact with and that someone else immediately had access to in the area where you lived in.
Yeah.
If it wasn't you that killed her.
Yeah,
You clearly had sex with her at some point. Probably.
Who, me?
Saying that, yes, sir. I mean, that's the only way your scene is going to get all over her like that.
I don't remember having sex with her. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I could have had sex with one of her friends, anybody, and they could have got on her draft.
Not the way this was.
Not the evidence that we have.
I don't remember. I don't remember killing that woman. I know that for a fact.
Did you ever have a situation where Vicky Belk or any other woman was fighting with you like that, and things could have got out of hand? Like attacking you, like while you're having sex with them, or after you had sex with them?
Trying to steal your drugs.
Anything's possible.
Anything was possible, but I don't remember killing that woman. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I did not kill that woman.
Do you know who did? If you didn't.
I know I didn't.
Okay, but if you didn't, do you know who did?
Do I know who did? No, I don't. I can't. Like I said, I don't want to pinpoint somebody just to get away from it.
We're not asking you to do that. We're saying if you do know. Physically,
Yeah.
you actually know, not just say it could be.
Yeah, that's what I'm
We're
saying.
not asking for that. This is a female that you were with in that immediate time frame of her death. So you either
Only
after
person I ran with back then was a little dude named Mike.
Mike from Bryan's Road area, Charles County, or is he from DC?
No, he's not from Bryan's Road. He's from DC.
You have any friends in Bryan's Road or Marshall Hall or Charles
Who, me?
County? Yeah.
No.
Your only relationship to Charles County is
Listen to what I'm saying about Charles County. I didn't have friends there because of the way we lived. All we used to do is come up here to work in the store, hang out and everything, right? And at night, we all get together, get in the car, and take off. We were in the house.
You never hung out at that age. your early age, you didn't go and hang out in the Charles County area clubs or?
I didn't know no.
I
didn't know no clubs or nothing then.
Because if you could sell drugs in the city, you certainly could sell them out in the
No,
country.
no, not down there. And I tell you, because of the police, the law.
There was a lot of them back then?
It wasn't, I don't know how many were, but I know they wasn't playing that down there. No, I never sold any drugs down there. I couldn't even tell you where a club was.
Most of the clubs back then are like local.
It'd been like
bar.
a bar.
Everyone that goes there knows everyone.
Yeah, but like the I've never been in a bar down there. You know, like I said, I never known where one was. If we rolled past one, cool.
But you didn't hang out any.
No, I never hung out in none of the bars or clubs in off of Bryan's Road. No, I don't know. I didn't know any of the clubs at. You know, like he had said about the school. I didn't even know where the school at. All I knew was the school up and down there. All I knew was the name of the school.
What's the name of it?
Lackey.
Oh, it's a little further away from where this happened at.
Still the same Charles County region, but a little further south, down Indian Highway.
What, Lackey?
Well, it's in that vicinity. If you were to go down Indian
I
Highway,
just knew the name. I just knew the name behind the younger kid, the younger dudes, his brother and sister, by them being younger, going to school, and that's what they used to say, Lackey, Lackey, Lackey. That's how I knew it.
That area is known as Triangle. That little intersection right next to Lackey, just a couple bars.
I don't even know where Lackey at.
Okay.
You just know the name?
Just the name, that's it. I don't know where it's at.
Okay.
If you took me down there right now, I couldn't tell you where Lackey was.
Right.
You know? And like your man in the truck said, 44 years, things change.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
What's the last time you went to Charles County or to the Bryan's Road area?
Oh, man.
Is yours
God
house?
damn.
Approximately, you don't have to be.
I'm going to try to give you about, I went to jail, about 80.
And you
About
spent
80.
the rest of your time in the city?
Now, about around that time, I had went to jail for 64 years. I had a UFAC, I went in.
What was that charge for?
Heroin.
Okay.
You said 4 to 6 years or 64 years?
4 to 6 years.
4 to 6 years.
Yeah. When I came home, it was like 84, something like that.
So there's no chance you had sex with a woman, whether it was permitted or not, and then she was trying to rob you and things went bad? You defended yourself? No chance of that ever happening? We got to explain how you shot and
I've gotten robbed before by a woman, you know, having sex and stuff like that, but never did I shoot them or anything like that. I just took it as a loss, because that's how it go. If they get you, they got you.
Business, yeah. Call it business.
Yeah, they got me, they got me.
There's no time that you asked someone to take you that wasn't Miss Vera or her son, a female from the city, and say, can you give me a ride to the Bryan's Road area? There's no chance that that's ever happened. Not to her house, because you're very clear that you don't bring her
I know
to
what
the
you're
house,
saying.
but to the regions where you can still walk to the house.
No. I've never, like I told him, I never asked nobody to take me to her home without her being there or her sons or daughter being there, because that was their home. They was allowing me to stay here.
Yes, sir.
So
but I'm talking about to the area. Let's say you can't bring a girl into the house. We understand that. That happens with a lot of people.
Right.
But you're going to say, drop me off the street, potentially. That happens more often if you don't want people to go to the house or see who you're with. You're like, drop me off the street.
No, because, I mean, it dropped me off the street. You know how long I had to walk to her home?
Depends on how far you have them drop you off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, no, I did not have them drop me off like that.
You kind of touched on bars. Do you remember a bar called Palador? Does that sound familiar to you?
Say that again.
The bar called the Palador.
A bar.
Yeah, does that sound familiar in Charles County?
It may have, but I don't know. Like I said, I've never been to a bar there.
Okay.
I don't even know where's a bar at down there.
Okay.
Yeah. If I wanted a drink or something, I'd buy it up here and take it home with me. You know?
Right.
But no, I don't even know where there's a bar at down there. I couldn't tell you. Oh man, they got a bar right there. I can't tell.
What kind of store did Miss Vera have?
Huh?
What kind of store did Miss Vera have in the city?
A convenience store.
Like a 7-Eleven type of thing.
Yeah. Mostly a lot of canned goods, potato chips, cupcakes. All stuff that, you know, you run out and want something to snack on.
We used to call them corner stores. Was it on
That's
corner?
what it was,
Yeah.
on the corner store. You know, that was left to her by her husband, Hank. He was killed. You know.
Was he killed in the city?
He was killed in the city, yeah. They found his body in Anacostia River.
Was he wrapped up in the drug world, or what happened to him? Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
You think you can cover anything else?
If you can, you have plenty of time to think about it. If you think of any way that you could have had sex with this lady who ended up dead right away.
There's no way I could.
Got to be an explanation for it.
I mean, I'm not gonna say, like I told him, I did or didn't have sex with her. But I'm gonna always stay with that I did not kill that woman.
And you still say you don't know who killed her?
I don't know who killed that woman.
Well, her name's Vicky Belk.
I don't know her name. What did I tell you?
You told me. You remember our conversation very...
Yeah, I remember our conversation. What did I tell you when you told me? He showed me the picture and said her name was Vickie. I told him, man, I don't know her.
You never seen her before?
I never seen her before, nothing. I told him she was a pretty woman.
At the time I heard that, she had 2 children.
I don't know that.
I'm telling you. Vickie is better.
If it was me, no, I wouldn't take her away from her kids like that, man. I wouldn't want nobody to take me away from my child like that. Me and him had a good conversation.
Yeah, you were very, very polite with me, and
Yeah,
likewise.
yeah. Me and him had a good
conversation. I'm just saying, you gotta have.
I know it's got to be a logical answer to this.
Yes, sir.
And just like when he came to me with it, I'm the same way when he came to me back then with it. I'm lost. You may not think I'm lost. He may not think, but I'm lost. You understand?
I know by what you're saying.
My whole world is fucked up, man. I don't have a leg. I want but one leg. My kidneys. You know what I'm saying? This shit here come down on me. I don't like this shit, man. How would you feel?
No, I imagine it's a lot of weight. I mean, your physical health is taking you down, and now you've got this extremely stressful situation in your life that I would never want to be in.
If I knew by any means anybody that would kill that woman, I would tell you without a doubt.
Well, if you think about it and you can try to come up with an explanation, would you be willing to tell that?
Yeah, I would be willing to tell you.
Even anything that Tommy, Vera's son, told you? Even though he's dead?
Keep pushing at that, ain't you?
I want to cover, that's all.
I know, you keep pushing at that.
If it's not, just say it's not.
No.
Or you'd rather not say? That's fair.
I'm not going to not say. It could have been him. It could have not been him. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to take it away. It couldn't have been him.
Right.
You know.
Well, you're in a point in your life where you're not living in the streets, so you're not really threatened by this retaliation from the streets for anything that you say. For the most part, you were in a protected facility.
Who's not threatened?
You don't live in the streets.
We threaten every day. Just because we're in that facility don't mean that we are not threatened.
Have you been threatened?
People have came up in there and got people. You know, yeah, okay, we might be in there protected to help our health and all that. But people have came up in there and got people.
Okay, well, my point is you're in a different place in your life.
Yeah,
You're
right
not living actively in the streets, selling drugs, hanging out with the guys that sell drugs. You're an older man now.
Yeah.
And you know, there's things that you're going to be held responsible for that you're saying you didn't do, but you've got to have some explanation. All right. And if there's parties that were with you or did part of this action to her, like maybe you had sex with her, but someone shot her and you're saying it wasn't you, there should be some explanation for that.
And if you know something, whether
man. Well, y'all gonna beat it and beat it out of me.
No, we're not trying to make you say something.
I know what you say. You're not trying to make me say something that's not true or
Correct.
that's
Absolutely,
not
you
there.
don't want that.
Yeah. Only thing I can give you, if it wasn't his real son, might have been the dude Mike that I was hanging with. Like I said, I was selling drugs. They were more wild than me.
Was Mike from the
Yeah, they
city?
used to come by, and they, like I said, I don't know what kind of car. They used to come by in a car and want me to go, and I said, nah, man, I'm selling drugs. No.
Okay.
So what they were up to, all that, I don't know. When they pulled off and left, I don't know.
But they would have had to have brought you a girl that you could potentially recall. Now that you have to think about this, there was a time when Mike or whoever brought a female to you for sex, or while they were at your place or near your place, you had sex and they went away with her maybe, and maybe she was killed by someone else. But I would think after this conversation with us, now that you know what you're looking at, when would that have happened? With who might that have happened? Like, who would have brought a female to you where you had sex with her? And if you're saying you didn't kill her, someone else
would have killed her?
Who could have possibly been in contact with a female that you were with and would have dumped her in your neighborhood before going back to the city? So it likely meant that you were in Bryan's Road, or because there was no reason for them to come all the way down to Bryan's Road unless they're dropping you off or coming to see you. But if something happened bad afterwards, and on their way back to the city, it wasn't you going back to the city as well, you got rid of this
I
girl.
wasn't, that's what I keep trying to tell you, I wasn't with nobody that went to Bryan Road with a woman. If they did, we may have had sex around the corner or whatever, and I've gotten out the car and left. And them in the car with the woman, they take off. I don't know where they're
certainly
going.
possible, but you would probably be able to recall, thinking about it now, a situation where that actually occurred. You're saying it could possibly be something that Mike could have done. You're just giving us some Mike. That's one of the most common names.
It seems like there's some type of obstacle with Mikey. You're holding back on us. You got this thing with Mikey. You call him Mikey, right? Again, I'm not trying to play tricks on you. You just said there's Mikey. You put your head down. There's something there with Mike. And Mike is dead now, right? Okay.
Man. Say the dead come alive. We had sex with the woman.
In the city or in Charles County?
Listen, man, stop trying to take me somewhere. Listen.
Listen.
We had sex with the woman. Me and Mike. In the city. I got out the car because I didn't want to ride with them. The woman was more or less, I guess, fear and hollering and shit. I thought that the woman was with him voluntarily. So I said, I'm gone, man, back up the street. I don't know where he went. Like you say, he could have took it down there where we lived at damn Bryan's Road. Because I had, talked to him about it before. I've never taken him there. I always described the area. And when I see Mike again, let's say that evening, about 7, 8 o'clock at the pool room, I asked, "What's up, Joe?" He asked me, "What's up?" I said, "Ain't nothing, Joe. What's up with you?" "I got a car down the street." No, that's all right, that's all right. I live right down the street. I ain't doing nothing. I'm all right. Let me go clean this, take this stuff off me. And we went separate ways that evening, the rest of the day. I didn't have any dealings with him afterwards. Like I said, I went my way, he went his way. That's the best I remember and I could tell. Because I just don't like to, more or less say, get people up when they do something. I guess, like they said, you have to do what you gotta do sometimes.
So you said you had sex with that woman. You talking about this woman?
Yeah.
That was her? Same one I showed you a picture of? Remember what she was wearing?
I can't remember color. I think she had a dress,
Okay.
or skirt, or one of them. Dress. Nice shoes.
You remember her telling you anything?
Saying anything?
Yeah.
She said, "Don't hurt her."
When you said you had sex with her, you and Mike, was that consensual sex, or was she not approved?
She wasn't raped. She gave up sex so she wouldn't be hurt.
Okay.
You follow me?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did she say, or did you, or Mike threaten her in any way?
No.
She felt that way, or?
No.
Can you explain?
He was more like in control at the time because he was like, "Get in the back, get my man some." Afterwards, he was like, "How is she dragged?" And by me being so young and naive, I was like, she alright. And I would tell him, "Pull your clothes up, fix your clothes, go ahead." I got out the car, like I said, I got out the car. Because I felt bad about what I did. Even though she gave up sex so she wouldn't be hurt. And still come out, 44 years later, you tell me that she's hurt?
Did you say Mike showed up with her in the car, or how did that come? How did you end up together?
He showed up with her.
Do you know what kind of car that was? Remember you said initially?
I can't remember. All I know was a big car back then. I can't tell you if it was a Ford or whatever.
Right.
I can't tell you black or blue.
Did you drive it at all?
Huh?
Did you drive the car at all any time that day? What time of day was this that occurred?
in the evening time. When I say evening time, like when people getting off work.
Did you see Mike after that day?
Did I see Mike the next day?
The next day or any day after that?
Yeah, I saw him several days after, but we didn't have no communication.
You never said what happened to the lady? You never had that question or concern?
No, I never asked him, right? I don't think I asked say, who car is that, Mike? I remember, the next day that car. And I said, man, who car is that? One thing he said, you know who car it is. And that evening, the next evening, it was gone away from where it was. Where you saw that, or whoever it was that saw it, 17th Street?
17th and C.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the car that you were Mikey with that girl with, that was the same car you saw at 17th and C Street that was left on the side of the road. You remember anything unique on the inside of the car? Color, upholstery, anything like that?
It's been so long.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't tell you that.
It was did Mikey have a gun when all this went down?
I don't know. It was during the time he could have one. He could. The way we were dressing, you couldn't tell unless he showed it to you. I didn't have a weapon.
What else was going on? Was the girl crying? Was the woman crying when all this happened?
She was more or less not crying. She was more or less saying, "Don't hurt her."
Okay.
And that's when I got away from them because I didn't want to be around.
Was it just you and Mike?
Yeah.
Do you know exactly the place that you guys were at when you had sex that was in the car?
Yeah.
Where we all stopped or parked or?
It was right there. It was right up the street from the stadium.
You know where?
Right up the street.
I mean,
That means
from
right
that
there
area,
was that. East Cap.
Really, about high school?
Yeah.
Were you on the main road or in a parking lot or?
No, it was right there on the main road because that street wasn't so busy at that time in the evening.
Was it dark outside or daylight when this happened?
It was daylight.
And you're saying that you got out of the car after you had sex with her. And were you the second one to have sex with her, or were you the only one to have sex with her?
I was the second one.
Were you present when Mike had sex with her?
No, I left.
So then you would have been the first.
That you know of.
Then you would have been the first one that had sex with her.
Or the first one, yeah, I left because I didn't like what was going on. Like you told me, go ahead, Drake, go ahead, I'll catch up with you later.
Did she have any jewelry on, Vickie?
That I can recall?
Did she have any jewelry that you can recall, or watches, or purse?
I didn't pay that any attention. She might have had a watch on. She could have.
Did you or Mike take any property from her that you know of besides the car?
I didn't take anything from her.
That's what I'm asking. Did you or Mike
I didn't
anything
take.
from her?
I don't know. Like I said, when I left, I don't know what took place.
Go back to her jewelry. Do you remember necklaces, rings, earrings?
She may have had, the way she was dressed. A woman of that caliber, and the way she was dressed for work, she probably had earrings on. She might have had, a watch on or something.
Describe the caliber she was dressed. I think I know what you mean, but I don't want to take words out of your mouth.
When I say caliber, I mean, she was dressed more like a government worker. She was dressed for a woman of business. She was dressed like a woman of, that she might have been married.
Did Vicky say anything to you in particular besides acting scared? Did she say anything that you can recall now?
Now, when I met with you in March and I showed you that picture, did you immediately know what that was about?
No, because I was truthfully and honest. No, until you brought her name about and showed me, and I went back in my mind, you know, and I said, oh my God. Because I went down and told my caseworker after you left, right?
Yeah.
She said, what's wrong? I said, man, something I was involved in but wasn't totally involved in, come back to kick me in my ass. And I told her about it. She said, 44 years longer? I said, yeah.
How do you feel now telling us about it?
I feel the same way I always felt.
Yeah.
Hurt. Destroyed.
This guy Mikey, what? Remember what his last name was?
No, his last name was Coffin, Casement, something like that.
How old was he compared to you?
Mike,
Yeah.
I was 62, 63. Mike will be about, if he's alive, Mike might be about 66, 70.
So a little older than you at the time?
Yeah.
You're saying if he is alive, is there a chance he is alive? You said he was dead, but is he actually potentially alive?
You say if there's a chance he what?
Well, you said if he were alive, or if he is alive, and now I'm just trying to clarify. You told us initially you thought he died. Is he alive?
Do I know if he's alive or not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know where he lived at the time?
Yeah. I know where he lived.
Did you tell me?
He lived right there in Southeast.
That one particular street?
Right there on D Street.
Same block as you?
No. You keep putting me on D Street. Remember I told you I lived on 17th Street?
I remember.
Right. He lived on D Street.
Okay.
What would be the closest intersection to that you can think of?
Huh?
What would be the closest intersecting road to D Street? To where he lived?
Depends on which way you come. 16th Street. 15th Street.
So between 16th and 15th and D, somewhere in that region?
Right in that region.
And were you ever arrested with him at the same time? What we're trying to do is figure out his full name.
No, I ain't never was arrested with him for nothing.
Did the police ever stop you guys together? Take
No.
a board or notes or anything?
No, because my association with him became worse. I didn't want to be around him. After I seen what kind of dude he was, I wouldn't be around.
Did you know that Vickie was killed before we came to you at any time? How did you learn about that?
Yeah.
You ever take his handcuffs off?
Yeah, you can if you want. Yeah, I knew Nikki was killed. I was in the wall when Nikki was killed.
Her name's Vicky Belk.
You saw the wall?
Vicky Belk. Vicky Belk is
Yeah.
the lady's name.
Have you seen anything found out about it?
What? Nikki's death?
Vicky. Yeah. How'd you find out she was there?
Words travel.
You said you were in the wall set up for jail?
Oh, I thought you said Nikki.
Vicky Belk.
You said Vickie.
Yes, sir. With a V.
Yeah, I don't understand you sometimes. You saying Vickie.
I apologize.
Yeah, my apologies. Word travels, right? Then like you say, people run their mouth. You just don't say nothing. when I hear something, if it's about him, and I know you and him cool, I don't say nothing. I just stay my distance. You know?
Well, what did you hear?
What you mean, what did I hear?
I mean, you said words travel. I mean, I asked you when you learned about Vickie being killed. You said you were at the wall. We don't know.
No, I had gotten you mistaken. I thought you said Nikki.
So there's a female named
No, listen to what I'm saying for you add to it. I thought you said Nikki, a buddy of mine. That's why I said I was in the wall. You know, that's what I was thinking you were saying. Nikki, not Vickie.
So was there a time before today, or when he spoke to you previously, that you knew that the girl that you had sex with, that Mike was riding around with as well, had been killed?
No, I did not know. That's why I was shocked when he came to me. And he could tell you, I didn't sit there like I was happy or wasn't dumbfounded. When he showed me that picture and told me what happened, you know, he didn't say much. He didn't give me much clues. He just showed me and asked me, did I know?
Well, it wasn't the right time for him to share all those kind of details with you at that time. He wasn't.
Well, it wasn't the right time for me to give my DNA up, but I gave it up because I didn't feel like I did anything wrong. And the only reason I gave it up is because of him.
Is there any more about your interaction with Vicky Belk that you can recall that we haven't asked you?
I had no more interaction with him. He had all the interaction.
So
He knew, he more or less made me think that he knew her like you and him know each other. I was misled, in other words. The whole time I'm thinking he knew her as a friend.
okay. But you said she was giving you guys sex, or you, in your case, you sex, so that she wouldn't get hurt.
Right.
Why do you think she would have felt that she was endangering you?
The way her reaction was, the way she was acting. You know, when a woman is in the presence of men and if she crying and sniffling, something's not right. Something's not right. I know that myself.
But she then ended up shot and dead.
I don't know nothing about
I'm
that.
telling you now. She ended up shot and dead in the Brines Road area of Charles County, Maryland. If you had gotten out of the vehicle in the time that you said you did, why would Mike or anyone else drive her all the way to Brines Road and then bring the car back to the city?
I mean, wouldn't that be, speaking in general, wouldn't that be more sensible to take someone away and bring the car back than
Why
mislead?
Brines Road? I mean, you got Prince George's County in between D.C. and Charles County. Plenty of woods there at that time, especially.
Yeah, but you do what you want to do at the time. You know.
Did Mikey have any contacts in Charles County? Family or any
Outside of me?
Yeah.
No. As far as I know of, no.
You said his last name, you said Catherine?
Catherine or something like that.
Okay.
Can you describe him?
Just a little tall, might be about a little tall as me, about his height. He was stocky, dark skin, short hair.
Any facial hair? Mustaches or beards or goatee?
Back then, he might have had a light mustache, but I didn't see no facial hair, nothing.
Did he work for in the same convenience store that you worked in at any time?
Mm-mm.
Did he have a job?
I don't know.
What do you think the best way for us to try to figure out who he is? I know you kind of somewhat know his last name. Did you go to Eastern over there? Did you go to high school there? You know?
That's a long time ago to go back to Eastern and try to find him.
Yeah. I'm trying to find someone that, and I know you don't know his name exactly. That's what we got to try and figure out.
And then, like I said, I haven't been back over in that area since what? 80, 84, 84. There's no telling who's around there. You know, they could say his name, but you know his name. You know?
Does Miss Vera know?
Nah.
Okay.
She didn't get into our act, you know, she didn't get involved in our activities, our business. You know, running the streets wasn't her thing. Whatever we did outside, we did it outside. We didn't bring it home or bring it to their store.
Right.
You know, you just don't do that to people that's helping you. You don't bring your dirt to their business.
Makes sense.
I just want to be clear. Did Mike ever drive you or ride with you down to Bryan's Road or pick you up from Bryan's Road?
No.
You mentioned that some guys had come down there before. Mikey wasn't one of those?
Mike never drove me down Bryan's Road. You understand? I don't know how you trying to put it.
No. Did he ever show up in Bryan's Road while you were down there?
No, he never showed up at her house. You know.
Did he ever, when you guys all left together, did he ever go there with you with Miss Vera? Like,
no,
okay.
no, he never went there with us. He knew where we lived at, as far as area of talk. You know, oh, they live at Bryan's Road.
Right.
Everybody over in Southeast knew that. Knew that we stayed down Bryan's Road because that was the talk of the town.
They living out in the country.
Yeah, you know.
Now, not the particular day that this happened to Vickie. Do you remember seeing Mikey with a handgun or any gun?
I can't say I can't.
You said any day.
Any given day, I can't say I can't. Like I said, the way we used to dress back then, you didn't ever know if a person had a gun on them unless they showed it to you.
Right.
You know, the way we used to wear our shirts and clothes then, it was hid. Some people had a holster, some people didn't.
Right.
Mr. Taylor, did you have a handgun the day that you had sex with Vickie?
Nah. I didn't get a handgun until I was, about 20 years old. You know.
And how old were you at the time when you had sex with Vickie?
Huh?
How old were you when you had sex with Vickie?
18, 19.
Do you need something to drink, Mr. Taylor?
I would like something, please.
Okay. Bottle of water good?
Whatever.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, I should have asked you before we got in here.
Don't worry about it.
I said, even back in March, you've been cordial with each other. That's why we're not screaming, yelling, or anything like that.
There's no need being cordial. I mean, I have to come clean sooner or later, right? It's just that, you know, like I said, that life is behind me in 44 years. My leg and my kidney and all this stuff. Like I said, I ain't trying to be in jail and have nobody take care of me or look after me.
Anything else on your mind right now? I said, I've only got the Charles County case.
Huh?
So I'm only looking at the Charles County case. I don't know if there's anything else on your mind.
No, I don't have nothing in the district with us.
They didn't have any bottled water, but you had a water fountain.
Like, with the water on strike.
This is what he brought me, sir. I apologize.
You know how the water is in the city. Think of anything else you want to share with us regarding this incident with Vickie? You can pop in your mind about any other statements she had made while in the back of the car, anything about her son?
I know she had no kids. She didn't say nothing about it. She just said don't hurt her.
Yeah. Anything else you want to cover? You're going to go through the extradition process. You'll probably be in court tomorrow, and then you're going to eventually make your way back to Charles County. I'll probably say early next week. And I'll come in contact with you again if there's anything else you might remember or want to share.
So you tell me I gotta go to jail?
We got an arrest warrant for you, Mr. Taylor, because of all this. And I don't know if you remember when the U.S. Marshals that came and got you this morning. I was with them. We were together as a task force. Specifically, your charges are first-degree murder, first-degree rape, second-degree rape.
That's what I'm being charged with?
Yes, sir.
God damn, man.
Like we told you before, she was found in Charles County. She was on the side of the road in the woods. She had a gunshot wound to the head, and
so in other words, there's no need me looking to go home no time soon.
Well, you're going to see, it's called a district court commissioner.
Yeah.
When you get to Maryland,
Yeah.
they'll determine whether you get a bond or not.
You know damn well they don't give you no bond on no murder bill.
Well, that's not true. With both homicide detectives, and people do get bonds.
Huh?
People do get bonds.
I'm not saying it's impossible either. And that's not a decision we have any influence on.
So I'm being charged with her murder.
Yes, sir.
Because I had sex with her, y'all charged me with rape.
Well, the evidence we have up to this point until we talked to you was everything indicated the person that had sex with her was most likely and most probably the person that killed her.
Right.
Because she was on the side of the road, and then looking into your background, you got ties to Bryan's Road, only a couple miles away from where she was found, and then her car was found a block away from basically where you grew up and where you hung out at. You see how that all comes together and how that looks?
Yeah, but that don't mean I did it.
Right.
It just tied me in because I lived there and hung out there.
But do you see that we call it the totality of all the evidence, how it looks?
Or is it just that y'all want to clear a case up?
Yeah.
No, it's not
Not
that.
at all.
I mean, this is 44, almost 44 years old.
In 44 years. That don't mean nothing.
Well, any case is important to us.
Yeah,
Whether it happened last week or
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. 44 years don't mean nothing.
but
From what y'all say, 44 years don't mean shit.
well, it's important whether it's 4 or 44. It's important to us as investigators and also the police department, but the community in general, and also for Vickie's family.
Right?
So we have to do our due diligence, and when the evidence is there and we get evidence to look at and names come up like yours, we got to work on it, take action, do what's appropriate.
So I got to be sentenced the rest of my life in jail.
We
Well-
don't sentence you. We just do the investigation. The state's attorneys are the ones who prosecute. The judges and juries are the ones who make those decisions, not us. We just gather the facts.
But I'm saying y'all know what goes on in the courtrooms. There's no need to playing with me.
Well, you have an opportunity for a trial, and you, whether it be a public defender or you get a private attorney, they're going to guide you which way. And if they want to go to trial, that's absolutely 100% you're right. A lot of people do go to trial. It sounds like you've done that in the past.
Mr. Taylor, do you know anybody that's been bringing women from the city to Charles County and dumping them or killing them that you're aware of over your lifetime?
No, I don't know. I know a lot of stuff, but it's not going to help me get out of jail, so why should I tell it?
What's up to you?
That's what I just told.
I know.
Why should I tell it? Help you close 2 or 3 cases.
Well, it's not about closing cases. That's I'd say an administrative issue. like, here's the example with Vicky's family. I can't point with a folder, but it's more than that. It's a person.
Right.
At the time, she had a 7 or 8 year old. I think he was 7 or 8 years old at the time. A son. His 5 brothers and sisters. 44 years they've been calling the sheriff's office off and on. Anything going on with the case. Anything going on with the case. Their sister and the young man's mother was found on Bryan's Road, shot and raped. That's what the evidence indicates to us, and we have to look into it. We have an obligation, just like if anybody with your family would do the same thing. It's not just a case closure. It's I was able to tell this family that we were going to make an arrest in this case. It's not just a case closure. It's much broader than that. We were able to come to a conclusion.
So what made y'all arrest me? Because me and her had sex?
Well, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to talk to you. Maybe there was an explanation for this.
I gave you the explanation. Now what? I have to go to jail because I tell you, me and this woman had sex because another buddy of mine was driving her car. I wasn't driving.
Well, the law at the time, 1979, is when we were applying. And based on the evidence, what it looks like, again, going back to, you see, you and her are completely 2 different lives. I believe she was abducted from the Stadium Army and Metro. Your DNA is on her. She's found a couple miles away from where you were living at the time, and then her car is also found a block away from basically where your entire life is, or was at the time. You see how that is? And that's what the evidence, and this is why we led to.
How can you pinpoint the car on me? Because it was parked in the area where I hang out at.
Well,
what you saying, I was driving?
I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is this is just one piece of everything put together. There's no DNA profile, no other DNA found.
So I gotta go to jail for this.
Well, you have an opportunity to challenge the evidence and take it to trial. But based on everything, this is where we got the charges. This is why the charges are here. And even earlier when we talked, you said that you see how it looks because of everything that all the little pieces put together and how it appears.
So how long I gotta sit down?
I believe you go to a hearing tomorrow morning. They do the bond hearings in the morning in the district.
Bond hearing?
Or initial appearance is what it's called. And then they'll ask
where I
you,
go to bond hearing at? In the district court?
DC Superior.
That's where I go at?
Yes, sir.
District Superior Court?
You go to DC Superior Court and they'll ask you about extradition, whether you waive it or you want to fight it. And I'm guessing, I could be wrong about this, you'll probably get a public defender or an attorney to represent you during that process. And they'll give you the best advice they can, whether you want to fight the extradition or waive it, and then we'll come back up and pick you up and bring you to Charles County.
Whoa. So you charge me in the district and in Charles County?
Just Charles County. You have a Charles County warrant right now.
Okay.
But we can't just pick you up in the district and take you to Maryland.
I know that.
That's why we're here in the district, and then you'll go see a judge for your initial appearance.
So I go to see a judge when? In the morning?
In the morning.
Where I got to go in Charles County to see a judge?
Now your first initial appearance will be here in the district.
And that'll determine whether I get a bond or not?
No. It's extradition to Maryland. Then when you get to Maryland, you'll have another bond hearing, and that's when you determine whether any type of bail or bond will be set or you go without or released on your own. But your initial appearance tomorrow is going to be for an extradition hearing or some type of advisement regarding your charges and whether or not you want to be extradited and you agree to go back to Maryland or not. Again, I don't want to give you, I can be messing this completely up. I don't know how the extradition process in the district works, but you'll have some type of appearance before a judicial officer, and you got to make a decision whether or not you want to fight extradition or just go back to Maryland to face the charges.
So if I choose not to go fight Maryland, then what?
Do or do not?
Yeah.
I don't understand the question.
In other words, you say I gotta go back for extradition, right?
Correct.
Which is to be charged, right?
Correct.
In Maryland.
You're charged. I mean, there's an outstanding warrant for your arrest in the state of Maryland right now.
Yeah.
And I think I could be wrong with the district, but technically you would be charged with what's called a fugitive from justice.
From Maryland.
Correct. So technically you'd be charged as a fugitive from justice in the district, and then you would have a hearing regarding that charge.
I've been charged fugitive justice. I ain't been nowhere but in the district.
It's just because you have a Maryland warrant. We can't serve a Maryland warrant in the district.
Oh, okay.
Because of the jurisdiction, the boundaries. It's like I said, this morning we got you. We couldn't just drive you to Maryland since you're in the district. It's completely considered two different states.
Right.
Even district to district. And I'm speaking generally in regards to the way the hearing is going to go. I'm just not. I did it years ago here in DC, but it's been a while. But you're going to go before some type of judicial officer.
In the district?
Correct. This is going to be your first part of the process.
At some point, you'll end up in Charles County, Maryland, where you'll see a district court commissioner who will say,
It's
you have a bond.
Yeah.
Say it
You'll have a
again.
bond. You'll have a bond. Yeah.
I have a bond hearing.
You'll go before a circuit court judge in Charles County.
For a bond hearing.
Correct.
And he'll determine whether I get a bond or not.
A bond, no bond, or released.
I know I ain't gonna get no bond. Ah, boy. Yeah, it's over with, man. My life over. Fuck. Ah, man. Well, lock me up, man. It's over with.
Is there any more to the
What?
events that you explained to us about Vickie that you didn't tell us already?
No. You lock me up, man.
Well, I got to get DC guys to do that.
Go get them and tell them just lock me up, man. I ain't gonna see the streets no more. Y'all got me. You know, they gave me brand new beats. It's not even mine. I ain't killed nobody. 44 years.
Before I get to DC guys, anything more you want to talk about? Is there anything else you want to?
What good is gonna do me to talk about?
I don't know. That's why I asked. I don't know if you want to get anything
It's
off
not
your
gonna
chest.
do me no good.
Yeah.
I can't get out right now, killer.
When you say get out, what do you mean, leave?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So what's use of me telling you anything?
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to talk anymore?
Talk about what?
Anything.
Yeah, go ahead and lock me up, like I said. Not gonna see the streets no more, so come on, you can lock me up.
Alright, we'll get to DC officers.
One, Miss Vickie was 28 at the time of her demise. May she rest in peace once again, and Taylor was 18. There is no evidence that indicates that Miss Vickie and Taylor knew each other before the incident. Now, during sentencing, Assistant State Attorney John Stackhouse told the judge that the incident caused generational trauma because it went on for 45 years. Miss Vickie's son grew up without a mother. Her parents had to bury their daughter. Her parents had to lay on their deathbed not knowing who killed their daughter. Her grandchildren never got a chance to meet their grandmother. Yet, all throughout the case, I've never seen a family with so much grit, determination, and grace. He furthered that with, when you victimize someone like this and then murder them, it really doesn't get more horrific than that. Echoing the word of Miss Vickie's son, he asked the judge to, quote, use the power you have to get justice, and justice in this case is life, end quote. Before sentencing Taylor to life in prison, the Honorable Judge West said that Vickie had a presence or spirit that has endured in ways that he honestly never seen before, furthering that the victim's family leaves a tremendous legacy. and that the family carries on a tremendous legacy. He also stated that the crime is a horrific loss of life. The violence was extreme. The amount of fear and terror that preceded the violence doesn't exist in most cases. So horrendous, I can't think of any lesser sentence that would be appropriate. But there you have it, fam. As we wrap this video up, we do want to say once again, rest in peace to Miss Vicky Belk. 11 condolences to her family. Want to send love and prayers they way. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. This was the story of a DC killer who faced justice 40 plus years later. Talk to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.